from my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for April and May 2021. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal, for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, my gems, hope you're staying outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. My mutable air signs. Before we get down to business, we just got to get down to some other business. My book, Words of Grace, is up on Kindle. It's doing well. I'm very, very happy that people are benefiting from it. Wrote that during a dark night of the soul, and it seems to be helping other people who are going through that and similar. Nothing like sending the witch ahead, right? To kind of clear a path a little bit and share some grace that I discovered along the way. Links in the description box. It's on Kindle. If you want to check the first bunch of pages, you can do that for free. Also, I'm doing a lot of Zoom events on my DrawingTheCircle Productions Facebook page and bringing more teachers on. Was in a conversation today with Mal Flanders, my podcast collaboration partner. She's been doing readings from the dollhouse and scenes from the dollhouse, which are so off the wall, but they're only like 2-3 minutes. They're hysterically funny. She's going to be doing some mediumship work on the DrawingTheCircle Facebook page, Zoom format, and taking clients. So I'm just very, very happy with the growth that's going on in my own personal work, career, vocation. Nice little segue there. So if you're interested in the Facebook stuff, there are links to the description box below as well. As far as you go, my twins, oh, somebody's backing up. Is that symbolic? I don't know. You tell me. Comment in the description box. We're doing a 9-card spread for you. Work, career, vocation, 3 levels of power. There is a link in the description box as well from Myss. This is her archetype card deck we're going to be laying out the first 3 cards from. And in that video, it's on YouTube, she discusses the 3 levels of power, a series of lenses that you can use to look at anything in your life. We're just looking at work, career, vocation, 3 levels of, you could say, life purpose. Your work, what it is that you do to survive in the world, right? Whether you make your money there or not everybody does. Your career, your passion, your thirst, which lights you up, right? Your soul in motion, and your vocation, your spiritual calling. And lining those 3 up, or at least knowing what those are and where they are in a given amount of time, can be very, very helpful. A lot of insight. I've been doing this spread for myself since I started DrawingTheCircle Productions, which is probably around that time that I learned about the 3 levels of power from Myss or so, right? To kind of see where I am. So we're using 9 cards total, 3 Myss, 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to see what your internal experience of that is. There are chakras for all of that. I'll call that out as it goes. And then 3 Mythic Tarot to see what's going on in the external world, either how you appear from the outside looking in or some physical aspect of your work, career, and or vocation. Cool, cool. I guess that's about it, except to say that standard YouTube reading rules apply. It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs to get more insight to your work, career, and vocation, because your sun sign, which tends to be your masculine energy, right, solar, is going to get different information than your moon sign, your more interior feminine lunar, right? And your rising in your Venus and all that jazz in Venus, because you want to do what you love, right? You have a relationship with your work, career, and vocation, so however that plays itself out, may it be a blessing on all. I think that's about it, except to say both feet on the floor if you can. Don't have to. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same. To stay in the present moment and get you the clarity, guidance, and grace in your work, career, vocation, which is so vital for people right now, considering what we've been through the past year or so. You know what I'm talking about? From my pantheons of the divine, to which I am intimately interwoven and contracted to do this work. Shall we please take a nice deep breath? I know it's like 20 minutes of explanation just to get to that breath, but it's worth it. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, watching this video, receiving this reading. Let's look at their work, career, vocation in terms of the 8th chakra archetypal patterns for each. So we get a full chakra system of 8 chakras, work, career, vocation here. What's going on in their work, their physical world, their survival energy, their survival intuition, right? How they navigate the physical world face down. That's root, sacrum, solar plexus chakras. Let's talk about heart, third eye, crown, their career, their emotional thirst, their mental hunger, their willpower, what they want to do, right? What they're feeling, their spiritual power in there too with their crown chakra, what's going on in their personal level of power, their career, their creative intuition. How about their 8th chakra, their calling, the star that beckons them forward, right? Their mystical power, their spiritual power, but up a notch, right? Not just crown chakra, 8th chakra. No, almost saw what it was, but no. What is the dominant archetype there in their visionary intuition, the symbolic level of power? 8th chakra, the home of the higher self. That's just, no, that's 2. Man, okay. So you might want to check your other signs, because when those double cards keep coming up when I'm asking for 1, that's like, there's a fine line between archetypes, perhaps. So what's in their 8th chakra in their vocation? Might be a little indecisive. You are, after all, a Gemini. Man, I keep getting 2 cards, 2 cards, 2 cards. Gemini, 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 please. Collective pantheons. There we go. Okay, sometimes I'm the one who needs to focus, and I'm okay with that. I'm a Virgo. Well. I guess this makes sense. Okay, so these cards are supposed to be triggering. It's Carolyn Myss. Her work is not exactly fluffy. And in terms of Jungian archetype, every archetype is neutral. It really indicates a soul pattern, something that was written into the script before you were ever born, to develop certain soul powers within you, certain patterns set in place for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Well, in your physical world, in your work, you've got the bully archetype. In your career, you've got the slave. Like, both of these in their shadow. It's like, how is that neutral? Well, what's written in the shadow attribute is the toxic stuff, the stuff you don't want to look at, or the stuff you do know about but you don't want anybody else to. The light is what you're shooting for, how your life path, your work, career, vocation is healing you, or at least helping you heal, like giving you everything you need to do that. But here's, I've been seeing this over and over and over again, your leverage is really in the 8th chakra. To get up into that 8th chakra, the monk-nun archetype. So the families of archetypes, you've got the bully archetype, which I believe is the action family. You've got the slave archetype, which is a wild card family, because you never know what's going to happen when one of those show up. And you've got the monk/nun, it's gendered, I guess that's the language to use for it, which is a divine family archetype. So you've got a divine family archetype in the 8th. That's really interesting. Wild card in your heart, third eye, crown, but the bully, let's go in on this. The bully archetype in its shadow conceals deep fear behind verbal or physical abuse. And I'm hearing it's very possible that some of you might be facing that in your work life. This may not be you. All right, but the light attributes highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you, and I think that's your part of it. What is it in the physical world? Now, what could be the fears that would be bullying anybody in their work right now? Particularly, restrictions that are in place that are for our greater good as a whole, WHOLE, but as an individual, maybe challenging, right? Like, I don't know, being within a certain square footage of people, just in that. So, of course, and again, they're bringing this up. They don't bring it up every reading, but when they do, I make a point to say it. If you are an empath, let's just say you got a lot of other planets in water, just as a symbolic example. You may very well be picking up on the fears of other people that are bullying them. Like, what does a bully do? Behind every bully, there is a coward. All right? It's a front. And that's why, David and Goliath, Old Testament, not the claymation series from the 60s, 70s, although that too. GTV. What is it? You stand up to a bully and depends on who gets the first punch in. But think of how we bully ourselves, particularly in our work. Well, if I don't get this done, and I got to get that done, you might as well be out and out bullying yourself with those fears. At least be aware of it. So once you're aware of it, you can change it. but you might be dealing with an actual bully too. Here with the slave archetype, I have to say, I don't have this archetype lifetime, but it has come and gone, a season, but for me, not a lifetime. The shadow attribute, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices, which of course, if you're being bullied in the physical world in your work, then your career, it might be like, well, I can't really work on my career, what satisfies me because, and I get it. I totally get it, and everybody's going to do that. I'm giving my power away, right? Let's reread this. Giving your willpower away, throat chakra, perfect alignment for the chakras of this career, heart, throat, third eye crown, to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices, and I get that. Well, but what if I do that, and then right? Totally get it. But the light attribute, wait till you hear this. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. I mean, now you're looking at how the slave becomes the master, because that's a wild card archetype for you. Now, whether that's a spiritual master, I mean, look at how many of them had to surrender their will to the divine. I mean, I always think Moses, 40 years in the desert, like, oh my goodness, talk about surrendering your, all right. You know, Isha J, as I like to call him. Dad, I don't want to do this. May this cup pass for me, but I will be done. All right, Dad, I will do it. He could have done other things in Jerusalem that weekend. He could have gone elsewhere, right? There's so many examples of that where there is the surrender. Gandhi, you know, everybody forgets Gandhi was a lawyer. Gandhi was a lawyer. He surrendered all of that to, free India. So, so many examples throughout time. So this is why I feel like this is the archetype where your leverage is. The monk nun, now in the shadow, negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. I get that too. Oh, to quote Bette Midler, and in a very different context, oh, fuck the wrong person, your arm falls off. Mud will be slung tonight if you get a chance to, if you haven't. I know some of my gay, in my Generation X gays just screamed. But, it's like you touch the wrong doorknob, scratch your nose, and then what's going to happen? I get that, right? This is all legitimate shadow, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety, right? But the light, this is where your leverage is. Selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. This is an opportunity. In other words, these fears are here to drive you inward, to really surrender your will to the divine, the sacred truth of the throat chakra. Anatomy of the Spirit, Carolyn Myss, the throat chakra chapter. And this selfless devotion to spirit, however that is to you, what I call the X variable of spirit, right? Or as I like to say it, God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Fred, Wilma, Zan, Jaina, Shaggy, Scooby, whoever's in your pantheon, your angels, schmangels, whoever, whatever, huge. Huge. I get it. April. That's why I do, now you see why I do 2 months? I didn't do March, April, but I did February, March. I might continue doing that, though. Give myself a break from these once a month. We'll see. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, heart, throat, third eye, crown for each. What are you experiencing inside of yourself, right? To help clarify that a little bit, please take a nice deep breath. My goddess is fair in the sign of Gemini. How nice of you to say. They're like, well, you're having fun today. I'm like, yes, I am. Please, 1 card each, so I should say 3 cards in clarity, to clarify the work, career, vocation for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus Sun, watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, heart, throat, third eye, crown for each. We'll put them face down and foot mall at the same time. What's going on in their work, right? They got this bully archetype going on. So how's that affecting them, or what's rising up from within them in their work, in their career? The slave archetype, that surrendering of the will in their career, because they've probably got a real clear inspiration or something that needs their real attention, their single-minded devotion, right? A dedication to spirit. So what's going on in their heart, third eye, crown, in their career? There has to be an emotional thirst to that, or a mental hunger, or both, to feed that fire, right? Excuse me. What's going on in their 8th chakra, then, in their vocation, right? In terms of their heart, third eye, crown, with the monk nun archetype. Please, they are having fun with me today in their vocation. All right. Uno, dos, tres. I knew it. I didn't know it. I said it. I don't know it was going to play out that way. So look, with the bully, you've got the appraisal card, right? Good old Seven of Pentacles. This farmer, she planted these sunflower seeds a season ago, and she is looking them over. She's like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Is it worth it? Appraisal, if you ever had a car appraised, like you're going to buy a used car, or a house appraised, you have to have a house appraised. You just don't say, oh, it's this much money. No, you send an appraiser in, right? You know, there's a huge fault line in the basement, right? The foundation is cracked, right? You want to know, is it worth it? And your own bullying fears are in the way, and that's okay. Just be aware of it. Because we're going to talk here in your career. You have got the Eight of Flames, the Eight of Wands, a lot of creativity pent up and moving forward, wanting to move forward. Burnout is the name of the card. And yes, you might be burned out in the, I'll say the contemporary sense. This card is about rapid moving fire. It's not about being burned out necessarily. It is a forest fire. It is a forest fire, and I'm a past life dryad, baby. I got dryad DNA in me. So this card horrifies me on a certain level, but I also know that that's a lot of organic ash there, and that from that will come new creativity, right? From that will come another forest, right? So it's part of that cycle. So there maybe is some burnout going on here, and that's why you're like, well, I fucking hate what I'm doing, but it's how I make money, and how am I going to follow my career? Well, you surrender to the divine. You say, all right, you show me. Now, by the way, that doesn't mean you sit on the couch. Unless you're instructed, guided, just sit on the couch. For me, I surrender every day. So before every reading, really, I say, just use me. Make it the best thing that's ever fucking happened. I don't care. Just speak it through me. Because when you do this over and over and over every day, becomes your work and your spiritual practice align. And I'm kind of getting that. There's something in that for you as well. So this creativity is inside of you. You want to move forward with this. You want to tell people about it, to communicate in that aspect. If you think of the Eight of Wands, right? A traditional tarot keyword, messages coming in, well, maybe, but it's inside of you. Heart, third eye, crown can very much be, when you hear this, from the inspiration that's coming to you, because in your vocation, you've got the Six of Pentacles in this deck called Success, sort of like a Special Olympics wheelchair race here, that there's handicap in place. Sure there is. It's a 6. It's not a 10. You're only 4 away, but you found your balance here. I think, like I said, this is your leverage, right? Like using a lever and an inclined plane and a pulley, right? Oh, use all 3 of the basic tools, right? This is where your leverage really is. This is about your spiritual life. And I'm not shocked. I mean, I am not shocked. The whole world has been hit by tower moment after tower moment after tower moment, and we're all in back. And it's terrifying in moments. And again, if you're an empath, you might be picking up on other people's stuff there. So of course you're in a place of appraisal, but accept that. It's okay. And know that those voices of fear, they're just trying to protect you, but they don't have the whole picture. It's a good way to say it. It's a really good way to say it. It's like, I understand. What am I really afraid of? There might be some shadow work involved here, and that's where the surrendering to the will of the divine might come in. Okay, 3 more cards. 3 more cards. Let's see what this looks like on the outside. Again, this might be how you appear from the outside looking in, like a mirror, helpful. Right, if you need to adjust that, or it could be some aspect of the physical world, but this would be what you're experiencing in your own root, sacrum, and solar plexus, lower 3 chakras, which help you navigate the physical world, your physical survival. Please take a nice deep breath. There you are, my gods of air. The sign of Gemini, please. 3 cards in clarity for the Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. What's going on in their work, career, and vocation in terms of the physical world and or their experience of it in the root, sacrum, solar plexus, how they appear from the outside looking in, some of that, all of that. April, May 2021, please. They've got the bully with 8 of Pentacles on the inner. Just 1 card. No, there are like 5 there. No. Wow. So yeah, the indecisiveness, I get it. I get it. You got a lot of options, but you may not be seeing what they all are. Please, what's going on? What does this look like in the physical? The bully archetype in their work with the appraisal. The slave archetype in their career with that 8 of flames, that raging fire, and I really feel a desire to communicate here, maybe communicate to the divine, right? Make your prayers, make your meditations, make your rituals, your ceremonies, your what have you, because they got that monk nun in the 8th chakra. Man, their vocation with success, really the key word on the card is success. So a real spiritual, like you crossed a line, but you're not all the way home, right? You crossed a finish line. The Olympics ain't over yet. What does this look like on the outer, please? My gods of air. And the sign of Gemini. Sorry, that took a little while. Oh. Okay. All right. So in your work. Yeah, I get it. The bully archetype is in place. As we said, that's societal. You might very well be picking it up from other people, and you are in a place of appraisal, particularly appraising not just what is the value of what I'm feeling, this fear, these thoughts, because there is value there. Anytime you find lead, which is fear, you have the opportunity to alchemize it into gold, which is love, healing, right? Toxic healing, which is exactly what the archetypes are about, essentially. So to be in that place of appraisal, what is the worth of this? Because here you have the alchemist, essentially the card of the magician. Hermes was a god of alchemy. And by the way, the god that sits in the throne of Gemini for me. So when I was pulling these cards, he right there, he's literally, well, his bust is right there. He's so gorgeous. Look at him with his dark curly hair. Greek man. Greek gods. But at a crossroads with all of his tools, you have everything you need. This has to be you. This has to be you, because this is saying even the phase of your life that you're in right now in your work. It's like, come into alignment. Take this inspiration, right, which we'll get there. Just bring your chakras into alignment. Take the inspiration that comes. Surrender your will. We'll put it all together before we're done, because here, the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles here is very akin to the 8 of Pentacles in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. But this really is like assessing work. This really is assessing work. It is essentially the same card, except the number is different, which is why I love Daughters of the Moon. I love her reinterpretations, and the artwork always speaks to me. So it's essentially the same vibe, though the artistic interpretation different. You are going through an appraisal. Now, to take all this creative energy, and on the outside 7 Pentacles is a wise thing to do. Because you are then obviously, let's use that word appraisal, appraising the balance of your hunger, your passion, your thirst, which lights you up. I mean, it's a forest fire of creativity, but you feel like a slave, right? You have to see, right? What's the giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices? Well, I see that here with that bully archetype in some way, shape, or form. But to surrender your power of choice, again, throat chakra, to the divine with complete trust, pray on it. I get it. It's a perfect read in this sense. It all makes sense. I'm so sorry about that. I haven't been coughing like all morning long, but throat chakra. Yeah, like coughing something up, getting something that's been down in here, up and out, so you can look at it. I get it. Because here you've got the hangman, right? You got the monk nun with this success, but with the hangman. So from the outside looking in, you don't have to pluck out an eye, but do the Odin thing, right? Like, make some kind of sacrifice. The sacrifice is being called for here. Now, I don't mean that anybody's throat needs to get slit. None of that. It means to make sacred. It could be really addressing these fears that are bullying you. And here, you want to talk surrender to the divine? That's the hangman. There is a couple of threads actually weaving through this. This isn't just like one single symbolic thing. It actually goes from 7 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles, right? From work to career. And then it goes from surrender the will to the divine to the hangman, from career to, from vocation to career. It's amazing. It's an amazing read. Now, the thing is how helpful is that? Oh, that's fascinating, Mark, but how helpful is it? Well, it's helpful in the sense that you know where your leverage is. Surrender your will to the divine. And I really highly recommend the book Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Myss. Probably, she doesn't do audiobooks like reading from her book. She teaches about the books, and I'm sure you can find thousands of those on YouTube. A good place to start, though, might be looking at the 3 levels of power. Anatomy of the Spirit, that was a life-changing book for me. So to put it all together, Take a nice deep breath. My pantheons of the divine, may the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, bringing it all into alignment for them. April and May 2021, as they alchemize that monk nun archetype to really give their single-pointed focus and devotion to spirit, to the success that is lining up inside of them as they surrender their will to the divine on sacred pause, seeing things differently, seeing it from a divine point of view, an 8th chakra point of view, so that in their career as the slave, they may again surrender their will to the divine with complete trust, knowing that this creativity that they're feeling inside of them is no accident, that it has been sparked by something and in play. After all, it is an 8. With this 7 of Pentacles in the outside, as they wisely appraise the value and the balance of their own psychological, internal, personal world, heart, third eye crown, in terms of the bullying thoughts and fears, or perhaps even people that are involved in their work, so that they confront their own inner fears that bully them, really weighing them as well. Are these serving me? Is this all worth it? While they have all of the tools as the magician to do the alchemy, to do the healing, the shadow work, use what they have right in front of them to take things that appear separate but are really united, fusing them all together as one, balancing their work, career, and vocation for their well-being, which is vital, for the well-being of all they interact with, and really for everyone on planet Earth in the same situation, for the well-being of all. May we all be so blessed by this Gemini in this process. So mote it be. And so it is. There's your read, gems. If you liked it, like it. Thumbs up, help circulate it, right? So other gems can find it. You want more? Subscribe. You want to know when it happens? Hit the bell and then hit that thing that says every single time you fucking post. You don't have to do that. What I would like you to do, though, is check out my book. It's $9.99 US, and Words of Grace has been very, very helpful for a lot of people. So may it be done, and it's paying, I'm not the only person who gets paid from that book, right? It is this corporation I created here, DrawingTheCircle Productions, and very, very glad to be serving you today, my beautiful Gemini. Stay outrageous, stay truly, truly, truly outrageous, and may you be blessed with all that you need in your work, career, and vocation. April, May 2021, my gems, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.